Prince Harry's explosive tell-all autobiography has stirred up many a hornet's nest in recent days. Even before its release due next week, in one quoted excerpt, Harry acknowledged killing 25 people in Afghanistan during his time as an Apache helicopter pilot. Harry says in his book that he undertook 6 missions as a pilot that led him, quote-unquote, taking human lives. My number is 25. It's not a number that fills me with satisfaction, nor does it embarrass me, he writes. Harry describes eliminating the targets like removing chess pieces from a board. It's the first time Harry has publicly discussed how many Taliban he killed. Harry served for 10 years in the British Army, rising to the rank of captain. He's described his military service as his formative years, and Harry justifies his actions, citing memories of the US 9/11 attacks and his meetings with families of victims. He calls the Taliban attackers and enemies of humanity, saying that fighting was an act of vengeance for a crime against humanity. Harry had served 2 tours of duty against the Taliban, first as a forward air controller, calling in airstrikes in 2007 to 2008, and then flying the Apache attack helicopter in 2012 and 2013. Since then, he's voiced concerns about his security, largely due to his royal status and also his time fighting Islamist extremists. Well, for more on this, we're joined by Richard Fitzwilliams, royal commentator, joining us live from London. Richard, another day, another headline, and of course, what we're hearing now from the excerpts from Harry's book is something we've never ever heard before, particularly from a member of the royal family.
No, you're quite right. I mean, it has been extraordinary, and newspapers and reporters are still picking through the details of what I can only describe as an explosive book. You mentioned, indeed, the fact that he admits to killing 25 Taliban whilst on his second tour of duty in 2007. He was a forward air controller in Afghanistan, and here he was an Apache co-pilot and gunner. There's little question that this does raise worries, for example, about his security, something that, for obvious reasons, given the tragic death of Princess Diana, his mother, he's always been concerned about, and in fact actually has cases against the Home Office for not providing him with taxpayer-paid security. He stepped down with his wife Meghan as a senior working royal, and since then this hasn't been provided. But as you say, I mean, this book is full of revelations. An attack, he said, on him allegedly by Prince William, the fact that he claims that he and Prince William begged their father not to marry Camilla, experiments with drugs, which he talks about losing his virginity. I mean, the list goes on. It is a most amazing book. I haven't read the book. I haven't seen it yet, but it was available in Spain and has been translated before its publication on Tuesday. And there's several interviews, 3 of them going out very soon.
I'm sure you'll be one of the first to buy the book, Richard, as will I. But let's talk about that wider relationship then between Harry and the rest of the royal family. Of course, we've had radio silence from Buckingham Palace. What do you expect to happen next? Can this silence continue? How is this going to play out over the coming weeks and months?
Well, this, of course, is a question that is quite hard to answer. Certainly, with reference to Buckingham Palace and Kensington Palace, I think that their intention is to remain silent. Remember, I mean, they couldn't possibly deal with all these claims point by point. This is Harry's side of things, and it's worth remembering that the Sussexes can be somewhat discriminatory when it comes to the truth. It can be their truth, but nonetheless, if they started any explaining, there would be no end to it, so they won't. What they conceivably might do. We'll just have to wait and see with the various interviews that Harry plans, as one on ITV, another, that two coming out in the United States on Sunday, Monday. The facts simply are, however, that this is an unprecedented book by someone who's deeply resentful, someone who's angry, someone who sees himself as a victim. I see the book as a betrayal of the royal family because he's making private issues public, and that is deeply embarrassing.
Richard Fitzwilliams, it'll be a busy few days and weeks for you, I imagine. Many thanks for your insight joining us there live from London.